It is 3:14 in the morning. You have been at this desk for 19 hours, and the blue light from your monitor is the only thing keeping the room from disappearing entirely. There is a half empty of something that stopped being warm 4 hours ago. There is a microphone you borrowed from your cousin. There is a camera you borrowed from your cousin. There is a camera you bought on a payment plan you haven't finished paying. There is a blank document where a script is supposed to exist. And there is you, 23 years old, unknown to everyone, certain about almost nothing, except one thing. You are going to make something tonight. You don't know yet what the next hour holds, but you are about to find out what you are made of. And the clock, as it always does, has already started. Level 1. The Ghost. You have 0 subscribers. You know this because the dashboard refreshes automatically, and the number does not change. And you have refreshed it 4 times in the last 20 minutes anyway. 0 is not a starting point. 0 is an argument. It is the world telling you that you do not yet exist in this space, and your job, the only job you have right now, is to disagree with it. You film in your bedroom. The closet door behind you is the background, because someone in a forum said that soft surfaces reduce echo. You do not fully understand acoustics yet. You understand very little. What you understand is that the camera takes approximately 45 seconds to boot up, that the microphone crackles if you touch the cable during recording, and that you have to finish before 6 a.m. if you want to render and upload before your shift at noon. You are not sleeping tonight. This is a decision you have made with the full weight of your 23 years behind it. The video takes 3 hours to film and 90 minutes to edit, and the editing is not good. The cuts are soft. The audio peaks twice in the second minute. You leave both in because fixing them would take another 40 minutes, and you have already decided that done is better than perfect, which is something you read somewhere and are choosing to believe tonight, because the alternative is never publishing anything. You hit upload at 5:51 a.m. 7 people watched it. 3 of them are you, refreshing from different browser tabs. You don't know yet that the other 4 are strangers. Real ones. You won't find out until the next morning, when you check the analytics after your shift. That moment reading the number 4 will feel more significant than you expect. You don't know yet that feeling will cost you something. Level 2. The Consistent Unknown. It is a Tuesday 6 months later, and the number is 212, not viral. Not noticed by anyone outside a very specific radius of your actual life. But 212 people have chosen, at some point, to tell a platform they want more of what you make. You hold that. You don't say it out loud to anyone, because there is no way to say it without sounding like you are apologizing for the size of it. You are uploading every week now. This is the discipline phase, and nobody tells you how brutal the discipline phase actually is. Not brutal because it's hard. Brutal because it's invisible. You are doing the work, and the work is not arriving anywhere with urgency. You edit for 4 hours. You post. The video earns 26 views in the first 48 hours. You edit for 4 hours. You post. 16 views. You edit for 4 hours. The mug is always warm now. This is because you have setting a timer. You are learning something that cannot be taught directly. You are learning the specific texture of caring about something that does not yet care back. You stop watching other people's subscriber counts because watching them is a kind of debt you keep paying with your own confidence. You put a piece of tape over the Analytics tab icon. This lasts 4 days. Then you peel the tape off. You don't know yet what the next month holds, but the 212 feel real in a way that the 0 never did. Level 3. The micro niche. You found it by accident. One video on a specific topic, narrower than your usual, more specific than felt safe, performs 3 times better than anything you have made. The algorithm registers the signal. You register the algorithm. You are now in a conversation with a machine, and neither of you is fully in control of the other. The number is 4,108. It arrived in a week. The week before this week, you had 940. The gap between those two numbers is a single video. A single specific, strange, oddly detailed video about one thing you knew deeply and explained simply. This is the lesson the algorithm teaches without explaining itself. Depth reads as authority. Authority creates trust. Trust creates the click. You are not sleeping enough. This is worth noting. The comment section is small enough that you still read all of it. There is a comment from someone in another country who tells you they have been trying to understand this topic for 2 years, and your video was the first time it clicked. You read that comment on your phone in a parking lot before your shift. You sit in the car for 4 extra minutes not moving. You're about to make a decision that will define the next 18 months of your life without knowing that is what you are doing. You are about to double down on the specific thing. The clock ticks forward. You don't know yet what the narrowing will cost. Level 4. The traction. Somewhere around 10,000 the texture of it changes. You feel it before you can explain it. The videos start being found rather than just posted. The search terms arrive in your analytics, and some of them are phrases you have never used, which means strangers are finding you through the logic of their own curiosity. This is different from anything that came before. Before, you were pushing. Now something is pulling. The number is 14,260. You stop your side job at month 11. This is terrifying and correct in equal proportion. You have run the numbers 7 times, and the 7th time was the one that convinced you. The revenue is not large. It is large enough. There is a difference between those two things, and you are learning to live inside it. You now spend 6 hours a day on production, 2 on planning, 2 on filming, 2 on editing. You have a schedule written on a whiteboard that you actually follow. The discipline is less painful now because it has become structural. It is no longer willpower. It is architecture. You think about the growth, and then you stop yourself from thinking about the growth. While you are trying to make the work, tends to make the work worse. You drink something. You breathe. You remember reading once that the best thing you can do at this level is subscribe to channels in your own niche. Not to watch them anxiously, but to stay connected to why you started. You file that away. It is a smaller thought than it appears. The cliffhanger is not dramatic. It is this. You are about to realize how little traction actually protects you from yourself. Level 5. The pivot pressure. You are at 41,000 subscribers and the growth has slowed, and everyone with an opinion has a theory about why post more. Post less. Change your thumbnails. Change your titles. Change your topic. Change your format. Change your face. The advice arrives from every direction, and some of it is thoughtful, and most of it is noise. And the problem is, you can no longer fully tell which is which because you are too close to it. And you have been too close to it for too long without rest. You take 3 days off in month 14. The analytics do not punish you the way you feared. This is its own kind of information. The moral weight at this level is quiet but persistent. You are starting to make content you are less interested in because the data suggests it will perform. You notice this. You do not stop entirely. You negotiate with yourself. You tell yourself it is a temporary adjustment. You tell yourself the channel is a business, and businesses require compromise. Both things are partially true. Neither is the whole truth. You don't know yet what the next negotiation will ask of you. Level 6. The brand. 112,000. Somebody from a company emails you, then another, then a third. They use language like partnership and alignment and authentic integration, and you read these words carefully because you have watched enough commentary videos to know what they mean and what they cost. You negotiate. You take one deal. You disclose it correctly. You watch the comments. The comments are more divided than you expected. Some are positive. Some are disappointed in a way that feels personal and specific. One says, "Used to make this for us." You read that comment 3 times. You do not respond. You archive it in a folder you have created, entitled Plainly Things to Remember. You are not the person who borrowed a microphone anymore. You have equipment now, a proper setup, acoustic panels you measured and installed yourself on a Saturday. The room sounds different, better. Sometimes you miss the crackle of the bad cable because it was evidence of something of having started before you were ready, which is the only way anyone actually starts. You are building something with weight now. You can feel it. The clock is past noon and the day is not over, and you do not know yet what the weight will ask of you at the next level. But you suspect. You have been suspecting for a while. Level 7. The operator, 500,000. This number used to live in the category of imagination. It has moved. It is now a number on a dashboard you check with the same neutral efficiency with which you check your email. This is not ingratitude. This is what numbers do when you live with them long enough. They normalize. They stop performing the function of proof and become simply data. You have hired two people, an editor you communicate with, mostly through timestamps and a comments document, a thumbnail designer who sends you 3 options every week and whose instincts you trust more than your own now on that specific task. You have become someone who delegates. You had to learn how to stop correcting everything. The surreal detachment sets in here. Not dramatically, not as a crisis, but as a shift in ambient temperature. You are producing a thing that is consumed by people who feel they know you, and you do not know them. And this asymmetry is the central social reality of your life, and you have not yet fully processed it. You don't know yet if you ever will. The work is good. You believe in it. You are also tired in a way that sleep does not entirely fix. Level 8, the category. At 1.2 million, you stop being a creator and start being a category. This is when the interviews start. When your name appears in other people's content as a reference point. When new creators in your niche list you as an influence in their introductory video. You watch one of those videos at 8, 11 in the evening, with the same stillness you imagine a person feels when they recognize their own handwriting on a wall they don't remember writing. The production has reached a level of consistency that feels structural rather than effortful. The channel operates on systems now. You built the systems. You maintain them. The creative decisions are still yours, and you protect that ownership because you understand that, without it, the whole architecture loses its reason to stand. The fatigue is not about hours anymore. The fatigue is about meaning, or specifically about the recurring question of whether the meaning you are creating is the meaning you intended when you were 23. And the mug was cold, and the world did not yet know your name. You do not have a clean answer. You have an honest one, mostly yes. Sometimes no. The ratio shifts. You don't know yet what 8:11 in the evening will cost you by the time the night is over. You are about to find out. Level 9. The testimony. 3 million. The room is quieter than it has ever been. Not because the work is quieter. The work is louder, more technical, more deliberate, more scrutinized from the outside than at any previous hour. But you are quieter inside it. The urgency that once lived in your chest like a second heartbeat has been replaced by something slower and more deliberate. Competence, when it matures fully, does not announce itself. You give an interview to a publication you used to read before you had anything worth interviewing. The journalist asks when you knew you had made it. You sit with the question. You tell them you do not think in those terms. This is true and also slightly practiced. What you do not tell them is that the moment you think about most often is the parking lot, the 4 minutes. The comment from a stranger in another country who said it clicked. You are still making the work for that person still. The number has changed, that hasn't. The acceptance arrives not as triumph but as texture. This is what you built. This is what it looks like at 10:39 at night when the city outside has gone dark and the monitor light is the same color it was at 3:14 in the morning 9 years ago. And the mug is always warm because you remembered to set the timer 0.0314. Level 10. The hour returns. The building is quiet. Somewhere, someone is awake at 3:14 in the morning. There is a camera they just bought on a payment plan they haven't finished paying. There is a microphone that crackles when you touch the cable. There is a blank document where a script is supposed to exist. There is a number on a dashboard that currently reads 0, and they have already refreshed it twice. You are not there. You have not been there for a long time. But the hour is still the same hour, and the desk lamp is still the same color, and the cold mug and the borrowed equipment and the weight of starting before you are ready. None of that has changed. None of it ever changes. Someone checks the time. It is still 3:14. They don't know yet what the next hour holds.